It is very easy to produce generic creative writing, just like this. The party took place under the cover of darkness. The sound of extravagant celebrations filled the air, fireworks, glitter and tinsel. In the air lingered the scent of baked hams, pastries and posh hors d'oeuvres. Now if your writing sounds like this, there's something missing. I mean, just compare it to this description. Eleanor adjusted the feathered mask on her face, her fingers trembling, uncharacteristic for a cold-blooded killer. She'd never thought that you could hear ecstasy, but around her, laughter and music swirled through the night like a storm of cinnamon and honey. Fireworks exploded into bursts of violet and crimson, the glittering sky reflecting in her glassy eyes, and elegantly dressed guests twirled beneath golden chandeliers, their sequins catching the light like tiny gems, targets. Now, it's just better, isn't it? Rather than being bombarded with a bunch of descriptions, with a person describing things to us, a cold-blooded killer, a character. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to construct and describe characters for GCSE creative writing to a grade 9 standard. And if you're wondering who I am and why you should trust me, I'm Sam. I achieved 2 grade 9s in English at GCSE, an A star in English language and literature at A level, and I've been tutoring the subject for like 4 years now, helping dozens of students to turn English from a vague, woo-woo subject into one of their best. So if you can give me just 10 to 15 minutes of your time, I will show you exactly how to craft characters that are so good, your teachers and examiners will literally be forced to give you top grades. Let's get into it. Now, regardless of whether you're on AQA or Edexcel, for English Language Paper 1, you're going to have to write either a description or the opening to a story or a narrative. So no matter which option you choose, strong characters are going to be required to bring your writing to life. But here's the catch. You've only got about 45 minutes to not only describe your characters, but also describe your settings and narrate a plot. So you don't have time for an entire cast of people. You need to focus on the essentials, the key features that actually earn you marks. And these essential features that we're going to look at today are as follows. We have actions, which is what the character does and how they behave. We have their appearance, which is the material and physical features of the character. And beliefs, perspectives, and worldviews, how your character thinks and perceives events. Now we're going to break each of them down and look at some famous examples of each. Let's do it. So, a character's actions include everything they physically do. So that could be from dramatic decisions like running away from danger to more subtle ones like biting a lip or hesitating at a doorway. And these choices are a direct reflection of who your characters are, what they do, and how they do it, revealing details about what they want and their internal conflicts more effectively than simple description. So I want you to think about using actions to help the reader infer things about your character, like their personality traits, emotions, morals, and priorities. So for example, if I was to ask you to show me that your character feels a sense of guilt purely through their actions, how would you do it? I want you to write me 3 examples right now before continuing this video. I'll wait.
1 pair of pants later.
Okay, ready? Let's have a look at Shakespeare's answer. Well, in Macbeth, Shakespeare shows us Lady Macbeth's guilt through her obsessive hand washing and cries of "out damn spot" as she sleepwalks after she and her husband kill King Duncan. Notice how Shakespeare doesn't say that she was guilty. Instead, he uses actions to reveal guilt. And I want you to remember this for me as the rule of show, don't tell, whereby we use our characters' actions and appearances to highlight traits, emotions, and details. Speaking of appearances, this brings us to the second essential feature of character descriptions. So I want you to think about appearances as like the visual and physical aspects of a character. So it's what they look like, what they wear, how they carry themselves, and how their environment might even reflect them. It's going to encapsulate things like clothing, facial features, bodily features, think weight, height, muscularity, scars, tattoos, body language, posture, even movement, so how they move throughout settings. And as with actions, Good writers use appearances for more than just description. It is a tool for characterization, providing insights into a character's background, lifestyle, or emotional state. So, for example, in Charles Dickens' Great Expectations, there's a character called Miss Havisham, and her appearance is used as a reflection of her marginalisation. So Miss Havisham was jilted on her wedding day, which essentially means her to-be husband abandoned her. And Dickens describes her as corpse-like. She never leaves her house and has stopped all the clocks so that she is unaware of time passing. In addition, she always wears her wedding clothes and has left a prepared wedding feast to decay in one of her rooms. So her physical appearance and the setting, which we're going to have a look at in a future video, they combine with her actions to symbolize her emotional decay, her obsession, and her heartbreak, the inability to move on from betrayal. And this shows us that, as with actions, appearances need to be used purposefully. We should only describe the features that reveal important details rather than waffling on about hair and eye colour or like a random butt cheek tattoo. Now, it's important to note that actions and appearances are both what we call external features. But a truly effective character also has an internal component. And this is where beliefs, perspectives, and worldviews come in. They take the reader inside your character, revealing their thoughts, feelings, and outlook on the world, which makes them feel real, human, and emotionally layered. And these beliefs and perspectives are often revealed through dialogue, internal monologue, and reactions to events, all of which convey our characters' identities, prejudices, fears, and goals to the reader, giving us insight into who they are as a person. So, for example, Bruce Wayne is driven by a strong sense of justice and a desire to protect Gotham City, even if it means operating outside the law. So, he develops his alter ego to tackle crime. That's Batman. But once again, the writers of Batman didn't just say Bruce Wayne hated crime. Instead, they show it through his actions and appearances, like the way he combats the Penguin, the Riddler, and the Joker, and his dark uniform, shielding his true identity. So in this way, your actions and appearances, they work synergistically to reveal beliefs, perspectives, and worldviews. We use them to ensure that we're showing how our characters see the world, giving the reader a chance to infer things and engage with the story, rather than telling them exactly what to do, which makes your writing really boring. So, how are we going to put all of this into practice and use it in our exam? Well, I'm going to give you 3 recommendations here before we close out this video. So first and most importantly, remember, show, don't tell. Use actions and appearances consciously and deliberately to reveal key details, emotions, and beliefs. So don't say that your character is scared of spiders. Rather, focus on the adrenaline coursing through their veins like liquid fear as a hairy tarantula rears its fangs. Second, think beyond the obvious. Everybody writes about hair and eyes and clothes. So to make your character stand out, describe their voice, their smell, their mannerisms, their body language. For example, if you want to show that your character enjoys the sun, focus on their sun-kissed collarbone, the golden tattoo which they wear as a symbol of matrimony with the summer. And third, use your creative writing checklist. So if you don't know what I mean by that, then make sure to watch the previous video after this one. However, to keep things simple, think about using a variety of language, structure, advanced punctuation, and ambitious vocabulary to elevate your characters. So personally, I'm a huge fan of figurative language like similes and metaphors, as they make your descriptions more precise. So for instance, the metaphor of peanut butter being your character's religion, the jar his scripture, and each spoonful a holy communion, that is much more specific than he liked peanut butter, because it conveys intensity and an almost spiritual devotion to peanut butter, which does deserve to be worshipped as a religion, to be honest. And if you want help putting this into action and would like to prepare a grade 9 character description to just like plug straight into your creative writing for your GCSE exams, then click the link below and book in for a free English lesson with me. Even if you think you aren't naturally good at creative writing, I will make sure to help you to get grades 7, 8, and 9. So to recap, great characters aren't built with lists of adjectives and descriptions of clothes and hair and eyes. They are crafted through actions, appearances, and beliefs that tell us something important about the story. But here's the thing. Characters don't exist in isolation. They move through settings. And in the next video, I will show you exactly how to construct atmospheric, unique settings that work hand in hand with your characters to make your writing sound professional and powerful. So make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications right now so you don't miss when that lesson drops. Otherwise, stay strong and I'll see you in the next video.